some skill, top dogs, VIMOAS.
Yeah, I write when it's in motion, VIMOAS. For the moment, maybe most known for gets, balls.
We are the WUFC crew, SDK. I'm Q, this is Lulu.
I started right first on walls 84, but on trains 1987.
I started to do a lot of train like in 96, 97.
The Falck is our vandal squad.
It's a big security company just for guards, and it's in Norway, Denmark, Sweden, all over Scandinavia, I guess. They have this special division just for graffiti.
When they first came in 96, there were just like 5 people of the Falck security guys. And I think it was the first years was like recognition for them to find out where the layups were and how people get into the layups.
And at that time they didn't know anything, and it was still easy. They was just working on the weekends. I didn't work in the weeks, so we painted all our trains in the weeks, and they got the trains in the weekends and catch a few toys, but it was really easy.
Then they got more and more people to their vandal squad, and they got better and better, but they used some really strange methods in the beginning.
I think from 97 they were quite good, you know. They had learned how to sneak, they had learned how we worked, so they could also sneak. It was hiding in the trains. In the beginning it was just laying on the floors in the trains, and they did catch you when you went in and started to piece, but after a while they stopped at that and they start to wait till he was finished with the piece. So when he was finished with the piece and leaving the yard, then they catch it, because they want to have the whole piece and all the signs, all the tags and stuff on it.
Because of the stressy situation that's been here, that we were really forced to do really quick black jumps, 3-4 minutes. Then we had to be maybe 2 or 3 guys working on the same piece. One guy did the filling, one guy did the outline, one guy did the background, stuff like that.
After we finish the piece, it's also hard to get flicks, because sometimes they notice it, and then after like 2 stations, and they just tell everybody to leave the train, and then it goes straight to the buff. So getting good flicks is almost as hard as painting sometimes.
Some people think that the Stockholm style is too basic and easy, but it's all for a reason. In the beginning of the Falcks, they busted a lot of people because nobody was prepared for that.
Then when they become more and more people, it was very hard to do pieces, because they learned the times we painted and which layups and stuff like that.
They rented this special force of anti-graffiti guys, and they really did a good job for a few years with their really strange methods.
The methods were also to wait in the bushes, or in cars, or on rooftops, or inside trains for some period, and they quitted to be in the trains because we know they were in the trains.
They were using methods that wasn't legal. They let people paint instead of just try to stop them from paint.
And they always waited until you were finished with the piece and with all the tags and everything.
They worked civil with ski masks, I think, to 99. And some guys was telling the police that they was using ski masks. And of course they were not allowed to do it, but the police didn't do anything about it, and nobody cared, because they was getting graffiti busted. So
it was a lot of work to get something done. moment the Falck security is gone.
I think around 2000 some newspaper put some point on that there was working undercover and ski masks, and it was also picking up people, and then catching hunting a little bit and stuff like that. So
because the work they did were illegal. They kept like registers of all the writers, where we lived, where we worked, who our friends was, and which school we went to, and all of that stuff.
So it didn't work clean. I can say that.
What happened was there was a radio journalist. He just went to the police and took all the verdicts of confessed writers, and they're just supposed to work in plain clothes in the subway and on the commuter trains, and they just saw a lot of arrests from streets and stuff from them. So I just showed that to the media, and after that everything went really, really big.
One thing that made the whole thing collapse was when the press got news about this person at SL Company.
This scandal about the Falcks when they had to leave, it started maybe, I don't know, when did it start?
In the end of year 2002.
This guy was taking money from the Falcks to give them the contract, because there was a lot of other security companies who would have this contract, but this guy, they put some money on him, and of course they bought him, they bought the contract, and that's really illegal.
It was so big in the media that SL was really forced to get rid of them, because they really, everything showed that they really confessed that they had this illegal registration things. They just cut the contract with them, but they still had like
3 months.
Before they had to leave, so they finally left the
1st of May.
The 1st of May.
So since then it's been like in the 80s here.
Now we're back to the
Just
80s.
to paint.
So it's really funny in a way that all those riders, in a way, like
We won.
put the big security guards away. So
it took 8 years, but now they're gone.
This moment right now, when there's no Falck security left, there's no guards at all. It's really strange, because it's this black and white thing with all these guards and absolutely nothing now.
After April, May, when they went away totally, so it went back to the 80s. You could be in the layer for like 7 days a week in the same layer.
It's nice now.
it's really nice, and I think people do so much better stuff, because you can relax, and it's been really, really stressy out there. So.
Got the blue painters. The blue painters worked earlier than the Falck security. Just painted over the pieces in the layups at night. But they're still there, but it's almost like before the Falck security, when they arrived. I started to work. It's almost the same thing. Situation with the Falck, and when they disappeared, I think a lot of all riders are starting to paint trains again, but maybe for a short period because it's easy right now. I don't know. Maybe they feel that it's much safer now to do a train than 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I think a lot of new people are starting to paint trains too. But
every end station is hit like 2 times every day, and it's a lot of people that didn't. They were too afraid to paint trains before, but now they do it, and the places get fucked up. You meet people when you're gonna do back jump that also gonna paint, or you come there, you feel the smell, somebody was there 10 minutes ago. And
it's not all good.
No, it's not all good. Because when we had the Vandal squad, a lot of people didn't paint because they didn't want to get caught. And if you knew the place and how to check it, it was okay anyway.
Yeah, so now it's just so many people that want to paint, and a lot of young guys, so, but I don't know, they get caught in the end after all, so I hope they get away.
I think it will change after the summer. I think it will change, but not not to a company like Falck Security. I don't think it's going to be civil guards anymore with masks. I think it's going to be more cameras, alarms and fences and patrolling guards or something like that. I don't think they're going to do this mistake again to have this Falck Security.
The situation as it is now, I think it has to stop because it's not...
Yeah, it's not going to work in the end because it's too many painted trains and...
Yeah. And yesterday they told the media that they're going to start something new. They're going to put up new alarms and things. They're going to do much more alarms. We haven't had so much alarms up here, but they really start to put them up now. Really good sensors and things. Heat sensors, stuff like that. So.
And for the yard, but for the back jumps, it's really hard for them. Maybe, but they're going to probably make some new Vandal squad, but maybe it takes a while.
Yeah, they have to find a new company and they have to do
new contracts,
stuff like that. So.
Cheers.